The jungle lay in an almost eerie silence, broken only by the distant boom of a cannon. Smoke curled from a Portuguese fortress across the river, staining the morning sky. On a wooden platform, a lone African queen stood, her armor catching the first light of the rising sun. Behind her, thousands of warriors adjusted their shields and gripped their spears, waiting for her signal. She did not move. She did not blink. Every eye was on her as the ground trembled beneath the approaching chaos. Slowly, deliberately, she raised her spear. In that instant, the forest itself seemed to hold its breath. They had said an African woman could not face an empire. They had been wrong. In that moment, as the soldiers tightened their formations and the forest prepared for war, she was ready to prove them wrong. This is the story of Queen Nzinga, the woman who defied two European empires and refused to bow to any of them. In 1583, deep in Central Africa, a child was born into a world already torn by war. Her name was Nzinga, daughter of the king of Ndongo, a kingdom under constant threat from Portuguese forces hungry for land, silver, and enslaved people. From her earliest days, she witnessed villages burned and families torn apart. The drums of war echoed in the forests, and the cries of her people became the soundtrack of her childhood. Yet, unlike many princesses, she refused to be sheltered from the brutality surrounding her. She trained in combat, studied diplomacy, and learned the art of strategy, because she understood that one day she would have to face a power far greater than any she had known. As Nzinga grew, she became known not only for her intellect, but for her fearlessness. When she was 20, she accompanied her father to meetings with Portuguese emissaries. The Europeans underestimated her, dismissing her because of her gender, assuming a young African woman could never challenge them. Nzinga observed everything: the soldiers' movements, the structure of their forts, the way they commanded their men, and quietly began plotting ways to use her knowledge against them. By the time she was 40, Nzinga was sent to negotiate a peace treaty with the Portuguese governor. He attempted to humiliate her by refusing to provide a chair, expecting her to kneel like a servant. Nzinga, however, was not a woman to submit. She signaled to her guards, who dropped to their knees, forming a human throne. She seated herself upon them, meeting the governor's gaze eye to eye, and in that silent act declared her power. Europe had underestimated her once again, and the message was clear: she bowed to no one. The treaty she secured was smart and well negotiated, but Portugal had no intention of honoring it. Villages were raided, people were captured, and promises were broken. Nzinga realized that diplomacy alone would not save her people. She could negotiate, but her survival depended on her ability to fight. And so, she chose war. Nzinga withdrew into the dense forests, regrouping her people and establishing a new stronghold in Matango. Here she built an army unlike any seen in Central Africa before. Men and women, former captives and warriors alike, were trained in disciplined formations and guerrilla tactics. She adapted European military strategies, adding her own innovations, and used the forest itself as a weapon. Ambushes, night raids, and deception became her trademarks. She didn't just resist, she humiliated Portugal with every successful strike. Word of her tactics spread quickly, and Portuguese commanders grew wary. They could not predict her movements, could not anticipate her attacks. She struck when least expected, disappearing into the trees as swiftly as she had appeared, leaving confusion and chaos in her wake. Each engagement, though moderate in scale, carried the weight of strategy and surprise, ensuring her forces remained safe while inflicting maximum disruption on the enemy. Her most famous battle came when the Portuguese launched a massive assault, intending to crush her entirely. Nzinga devised a brilliant plan. She feigned a retreat deep into the forest, leaving a trail that seemed to lure the Portuguese into a trap. Confident in their numerical and technological advantage, the Portuguese followed her into a narrow valley. And then Nzinga struck. From the ridges above, her army descended like a storm. Spears rained down, warriors surged forward, and the Portuguese found themselves trapped and overwhelmed. Cannons shook the earth, and the forest echoed with the disciplined roars of Matango warriors. Portugal, the mighty empire that thought Africa easy to conquer, was forced to sue for peace. Nzinga's leadership extended beyond the battlefield. She governed with intelligence and cunning, maintaining alliances and negotiating strategic marriages to secure her kingdom's position. She understood that survival required both brains and brawn. Her people respected her not only for her victories, but for her vision. Under her reign, the slave raids decreased, and Matango became a sanctuary of resilience and hope. Despite her growing fame, European historians worked hard to obscure her achievements. They portrayed her as violent and unruly, framing her strength as barbarism. But Nzinga's legacy could not be hidden. She embodied strategy, courage, and the unyielding will of a leader determined to protect her people against overwhelming odds. Even in her later years, Nzinga maintained her presence among her warriors. She wore armor beneath her robes, trained daily, and led with the same fiery determination that had defined her life. Her longevity was a testament to her skill, not just as a ruler, but as a survivor. She understood that her personal vigilance ensured the survival of her kingdom, and she never allowed complacency to creep in. Nzinga's life was filled with moments of intense conflict and tense negotiation. Each encounter with the Portuguese, each skirmish and ambush showcased her ability to turn disadvantage into opportunity. She used intelligence, deception, and the natural environment to her advantage. Rivers, valleys, and forests were all part of her tactical playbook. In doing so, she preserved not only her sovereignty, but also the dignity of her people in the face of an empire that sought to dominate them completely. Her story also carried moments of human complexity. She had allies and rivals, experienced betrayal, and navigated the fragile dynamics of neighboring African kingdoms. Every decision she made was calculated, balancing risk and reward. Her leadership demonstrated that true power is not simply in might, but in strategy, foresight, and the ability to inspire loyalty among those who follow. Nzinga's death at age 82 did not mark the end of her influence.
Her life became legend, a blueprint for resistance, strategy, and leadership. Even centuries later, her story inspires those who study history, reminding us that a single determined individual can alter the course of empires. She was not merely a queen, she was a revolutionary. She looked at one of the most powerful empires in the world and declared through her actions that they would not take her people. Her courage, intelligence, and unwavering determination ensured that her kingdom survived when so many others fell. Nzinga's life is a testament to the hidden stories of women who shaped history, stories that have too often been buried or ignored. Her battles were fought not just with weapons, but with vision. Her victories were not only military, but symbolic. They showed the world that African kingdoms had leaders capable of outthinking, outmaneuvering, and outlasting European empires. She proved that gender, though underestimated by outsiders, was no obstacle to leadership or strategy. In every village that survived, in every family that remained free, her legacy was alive. Through diplomacy, war, cunning, and courage, Nzinga created a lasting impact that transcended her time. She became a figure whose story was whispered among her people and recorded subtly in history, waiting to be rediscovered by those willing to see the truth. Nzinga's name remains a symbol of resilience and defiance. She reminds us that history is filled with figures who refused to accept subjugation, who fought for their people against impossible odds, and whose genius has been hidden from the world. Queen Nzinga was more than a ruler. She was a master strategist, a warrior, and an inspiration whose story demands to be remembered.
Subscribe and join us as AI brings lost history back to life.